Is the Red Sox not here, dude?
Oh.
Life's an Oshuamp, dig it.
I thought the captions weren't on.
Are the Red Sox.
So
That's what I said.
It's your Boston Red Sox.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
Hello!
Welcome back. We are Not Great RPG. We're here once again for the City of Oshuamp. But real quick, before we do that, DJ has a package to open from our good friend Vulpix.
Thank you, Vulpix.
DJ specifically.
I'm just going to set that there.
So we have to start with that because I have seen
Is Vulpix-
that Vulpix
Yes.
is here.
Yeah, she's here. Good. I don't know what's in this.
Hello, friends, and Don and DJ. Thank you, CMS.
Thanks, CMS.
I expect nothing else.
Oh, it really is proper.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Good for the ASMR people.
Oh, wow.
Make sure you get it closer to the microphone.
Oh, wow.
Uh-huh.
Wow, this is... They really fucking... They know
Oh,
this.
wow.
Vulpix, thank you very much for the gifted sub to the bot.
Thank you.
This is...
So DJ, if you'd like to describe what is on the mug, it is a
Oh,
stein.
there's more. Wow, buddy. Okay, is this one of them freezable Johnnies that I can just like leave in the freezer? And
I
then...
don't know. You're asking the wrong person.
Thanks, Don.
I just gotta ask Vulpix. I didn't buy it.
And fuck you, Don.
It's Vulpix.
See, this is why CMS doesn't consider you a friend.
You're just...
We have questions and
Yeah,
you just
I
don't have
know.
answers.
So
Vulpix
it's,
said
it's
I don't know.
a picture of me on the I don't know the name of this painting.
Oh, I was afraid that's what it
Creation.
was.
Creation of man.
Yeah, that one. It's a picture of me as Nesgrim with my long, beautiful blonde locks. With a
As man.
Yeah, as man. In the painting, I guess. And then I got 2 D20s over my nipples and one over my sensitive region.
What numbers are they on?
It's a nat one.
Nat 20s.
It's respectable.
Yeah, it's a good roll.
So that's where he keeps all the nat
I won
20s.
the genetic lottery. So then the other dude in the painting is
God.
God?
yeah,
The other dude.
You know,
The second one.
man.
no
the
art,
other-
man. Leave
Yeah,
me
the
alone.
picture is courtesy of
I
CMS.
don't know art. Everybody knows that.
I sure don't.
To clarify, CMS did make this wonderful painting.
Correct. Painted the whole thing on a ceiling, I heard.
And then
Wow, yeah.
on God's head is a meatball with Don's face on it. And then there's also 2 meatballs over another set of titties.
Set of titties.
And he's handing you a meatball sub.
And it's a really nice frosted stein that'll probably hold exactly 1 bottle of beer.
What's
That's
that
very
made of?
nice.
Glenn, it's made out of like polystyrene.
What's that?
It's glass, Glenn. It's glass.
That's bad. Hollywood.
Orca coatings. Okay.
What?
This is awesome. Thank you, Vulpix.
Thank you. If it is glass, you can just chuck it in the freezer.
Yeah, you for sure can. You have to
Place
use that on
it in
stream.
the freezer, please. Don't.
I'm gonna literally
Bam! 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 The freezer.
Pitch it into the back of the freezer.
just yeet.
Oh my god.
This is excellent, and I'm very thankful.
Yeah, she said you do have to use it on stream.
Now, currently?
No, just in general, like your stream probably you have
Well, I
to.
was just going to go rinse it anyway.
Okay, very good. We're gonna go around the table real quick.
I'm
Say who you
DJ
are.
Nesgrim DJ.
There you go.
AJ for a second. I was like, who
Wow,
the fuck
jump
are
the
you?
line.
Reverse?
This is AJ.
Yeah, we'll go backwards.
Oh,
Reverse.
Yeah, so we'll go around the table and introduce ourselves, and then we'll have a recap and pick up where we left off last week.
I guess I'm next. I'm Sarah, and I'm playing Ritura.
I'm not Lawrence. It's because I'm Glenn. And I play Forrest.
I'm Paul and I play Felix.
I'm not Lawrence, and my eyes might as well not be eyes. I play Yalumla.
He's got no eyes.
I'm Don, and tonight I'll be playing Ether Revia, the Grave Domain cleric who needs legs.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I'm John. I'm the Dungeon Master for this campaign. Last time we enjoyed as Fritora was returned to us once more after having been metaphysically transported away from our wonderful sense of consecrated containments. And yeah, had some terrifying experience that she eventually regaled the party about. The other companions of the guild, the Keepers of the Light, eventually slowly moved their way out because they were also exhausted and drained of their magic and just fucking tired because, nearly died for several of them. after pretty much everybody else left, the berries that had been dispelled of their terrifying magic that had been spit out from Tora upon the conclusion of the saving of her, burst and unleashed a magical flow of energy into the small room, bestowing upon everybody epic boons, and me one for Corin, which is now sweet. I'm a big fan of what I got to make. Yeah, we realized that, we were empowered by the unity and the resolve and resilience of our good friend Ritora. We spoke briefly a bit more while we were inside of the room, shared the knowledge that Camilla had instead been taken by the Rotting One, having severed the connection between between Ritora and the Rotting One. And yeah, we, in our exhaustion, eventually started to slowly make our way out. Arthur and Wembley providing for us various rooms. We took a long rest, and we woke up to a beautiful, bountiful meal, to which everybody sat down and began once again enjoying the harmony and tranquility of friendship and safety. Felix took a bath. A Wembley-sponsored bath. With Arthur's personal suds.
Gotta have your manservant make you a bath.
Right. Yeah, Ritora stepped outside for a brief moment of peace and solitude to be able to, again, reflect upon all of the struggles and ordeals that have been going on the last, 9 days in game, but 11 months in reality. It's great.
I'm sure it felt that long.
Probably to her, absolutely, with all the things that she had struggled through. Ether eventually recognizing once again that Faye does have a prosthetic right arm, asked Arthur whether or not he had a contact to be able to provide something comparable for him with his destroyed legs.
My char boys.
Yeah, well,
Wiggies.
Ooh, dude, Charboys actually sounds like a great fucking grill site.
TM.
That's ours.
I gotta
No.
check if that exists, and I'm gonna buy
Probably
it.
does. Dude, Grill Boys is pretty generic. But BOIS, maybe we can take that one.
What is he?
Ooh,
Is there another way to spell boys?
Girl boys.
Oh yeah, so char boys does exist.
BOIS.
Definitely not.
Charboys.com says access denied, so somebody does own it.
Access denied. That's strange.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's worrisome.
That's a little sussy. I don't like that.
Yeah, so Arthur said, fuck yeah, absolutely, homie, I got you. I'll run out and,
Absolutely,
I'll hit up my leg
homie, I
guy.
got
I'll hit up my leg guy and, we'll get you taken care of, buddies.
Yes. He's a leg man.
Right?
He's got legs.
Oh, these are very nice.
Those are just wonderfully. They're attached to me.
Not anymore.
Yeah, Nesgrim conversed briefly with Nivara, and Luna, assisted in the consoling of our good friend Nesgrim here by pitching him a parakeet.
I don't even have any game in a fantasy world.
Not pitching him a parakeet, informing him about a young, lovely woman who does very similar things to Nesgrim and is of a comparable mindset and personality type that they might indeed get along. And Nesgrim said, okay.
But does she have a beak?
Yeah, but does she have a beak, and what color's her hair? Because I gotta know.
Alright, so I can actually buy grillboysbois.com.
Ooh, do nice.
I might.
Yeah, so we learned a little bit more about the situation underneath the tavern and the guild's claim of land in the underground. Ritora talking with Luna about assisting in the production and creation of a farm. Luna telling them that they actually have something very similar like that down below, and that she would love to have her assistance. Yeah, I feel like that was the majority of the, small downtime activity things. We pretty much told our good friends the majority of things that we interacted with. The only thing that we kept secret and private was the location and existence of Melithil and Melicy. And then, towards the conclusion of the episode, once Ether had gone out to collect Ritora and check upon her, crawled his way back in. Slithered, one might say. We also fetched the plan for getting Adelston, our good rockman, to slither his way over to the farm underneath because we want to see him in overalls and a straw hat, which I agree is fucking sweet. Ether came back inside. Yalumlo asked once more about the hidden away information inside of the cryptex that had been given to him literally over a year ago in real life time as well by Iris before we ventured out into the woods. That's how long ago we went out into the woods. We went out into the woods literally last August.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Where are we?
I didn't mean to deter us for that long.
It was the hell of an adventure.
Let's go back out.
Yeah, dude,
I'm ready. I want to go kill some shit.
Yeah, we looked at the cryptex, Nivara, and the other companions, recognizing that everybody in here is obviously trustworthy and committed to the task of assisting in the protection and providing of providence and sanctuary for other good people here inside of the City of Oshuamp, and told them that they are in fact worthy. Yalimlo inputted the code word worthy to be able to unlock the hidden information, which our good friend Ether was asked to read aloud, which I feel like it's probably fine to just begin the episode again to refresh everyone's memory with a good old retelling.
Should I leave?
I mean, you're in the tub, you're nearby. Arthur's got speakers.
It's an intercom
Are
system.
you saying that I heard that entire conversation?
Arthur would have
Through the
whisper
pipes.
chambers throughout his house, leading to his
I don't think there are any
bathtub, so he could
pipes.
spy on people in
bathtub.
leisure.
Yeah, that was brought by
That's a
multiple.
good reasoning. Alright, yep, you're here.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I can
Let me
hear it.
just-
Okay.
Yep, whisper chambers. TJ brought up a good point. Ah! That was not the point.
That wasn't it.
I really like how I have an ominous and
Omniscient?
omniscient glow around me. Just
Were
like
you trying to
very
say-
ethereal and spooky.
Was the word ominous or omniscient?
No! He saved me by providing omniscient.
Those are two different words
No.
with two different meanings.
No, no, no.
He doesn't
Well, we
remotely
had
look
all
like
evil
a reanimated.
That's fine. I'm not a revenant dog.
No.
Paul, did you hear the reasoning for why you'd be able to hear?
I heard a part of it.
Arthur has whisper chambers throughout his house that lead to the bathtub so he can spy on people in leisure.
Wonderful.
So you can hear the echoing of your good friend Ethan from the banquet hall downstairs.
Great! Try and relax!
One thing you want to hear while you're taking a soak in a tub.
Creepy bone man.
The Testament of Nivara, 8033 AR. Frost fields, countless bodies. Sword falls from my fingers. Fire leaves me. The coronet clatters. Do you hear it, Elsith? The end. Is this the peace we wanted? Winces. Turns his face away as blood from his brow drips to my cheek. I try to reach him. Stop. Only a whisper. Armor shattered, his back still smoldering. My Aegis. He looks skyward. Above Whitehall. He soars. Tattered wings. Rivers of black blood flow over broken walls. Dumar trembled no more and cast aside his hammer. I see it. My peace is here for me. I'm sorry, child, that there will be no peace for you. The world around me was bathed in his light. A roar, a screech, fading. Dumar, my Aegis, the last light, plummeted amidst smoke and bone. Darkness. My head slipped to rest with the falling snow bathing in the ash of battle. I feel his blood on my tongue.
So we pick up. You having read that, and
Yeah.
everybody still sitting around here having dinner, breakfast.
Whatever.
Yeah, breakfast dinner.
Nivara's here?
Yeah.
She, okay.
Yeah.
Brenner in a bathtub sounds like the move. Sorry.
What?
Eating breakfast for dinner in a bathtub? That, dude.
You
sorry.
want bathtub pancakes.
Yeah, or
I
bathtub
was gonna go
waffles.
waffles, yeah.
Oh, French toast.
Just imagining you guys dropping these things into a bathtub full of water.
That's why I went with waffles. They're a bit thicker.
A little more floaty.
Yeah. So if I lose one, I can grab it real quick. It's fine.
I'm gonna look over at Nivara now and go back to the very serious moment that we were having. Is this something that you witnessed and Iris transcribed?
I mean, yeah, she would give a very slow and somber nod.
What do you see when you see these things? How do you witness them? From someone's perspective?
Yes.
that of Elseth in this?
That is what I believe, yes. I feel like it's always that song.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it's in the song.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna remove that from the playlist.
Your visions seem somehow similar to mine.
How so?
You are seeing things from the perspective of a person. Just remind me, I don't see the things from the perspective of the person. I'm like above looking at them when I do my visions, or do I see it from the perspective of the person?
There's the one in which you are assisting them attempting to cross the river.
Yeah, which that I'm looking
Which you are
yeah.
clearly, obviously, in the scene.
Right.
The one in which you are seeing the thing that led them to their demise, you are seeing it
From
like,
their perspective.
Through their perspective.
Okay, yep, I just wanted to double
That's
check.
why you've been like running through like
Right,
zigzag
that's right,
forests and
that's
shit.
right. Okay, yeah, I couldn't remember if I saw someone doing that or if I had done it. Okay. My visions also work that way. I see things from the perspective of the person whose remains I hold.
I think that they are very similar things indeed.
Do you choose to have these visions, or do they just happen?
I was made to have them.
Why? And by who?
People who wanted to know.
The past?
Yes, you. Written records of most of the era of the Dawn Heroes is non-existent. I was made to be this way.
An Irish trained to scribe for you?
Yes.
I am very sorry. I understand that that must not be easy to remember so much. And I imagine it feels as if it is a part of you. These people are a part of you.
Yes, it can be overwhelming to try to find one's place in the world when one feels like many.
They made you have these visions. Does it have to be you?
I don't understand. What do you mean?
Could they make somebody else?
Possibly.
If it is not too difficult to recall, how did they make you have such a vision?
I was born of it.
Predisposed.
Yes.
How did they come to find this out?
I do not know. These are not the things that I was taught to do. I was taught only to see. A talent that was born into me that I then was forced to use.
How many such visions?
Only one of such great detail.
Are these similar at all to the visions Adrian would do?
I do not know much of his visions.
I had a vision done by Adrian, and I would just recount that
Yeah,
vision.
yeah,
It's
what you
been
saw.
yeah.
I mean, possibly if that is a thing that is of your history, he might have been capable of finding memories inside of you that one might say have been locked away. And I think that memories such as those have been locked away inside of me.
These visions, is there a ritual or a process that happens when you do this? Is there a person required, or is it just you?
And you can see that she looks visibly concerned and visibly hesitant.
Sure. Let me explain.
No, it is all right. I was very young. Iris was, well, and she just kind of like gestures over at Iris, who clearly is an elven woman.
Yeah.
Well, attempted her best to watch over me as a motherly figure, but she was as well forced to do certain things and bear witness to certain things that were done to me. Violent things. It was less a ritual and more an awakening.
An ascension?
They used a similar word, yes. I fear that they thought that the closer to death they brought me, the closer I came to those memories.
What if you had died?
I do not know.
Who did this?
Brothers of the Cathedral? Was a man who called himself my keeper.
Did you ever learn his proper name?
I called him Father Leonard.
And he, was...
Don't worry about
What was the name?
it. Leonard.
Leonard.
Did we hear that name before?
has no relevance to me.
It has no recalled relevance.
Or
to
if
you.
it does, I can't remember it.
We know that name.
It's not my father's name.
Is it your father?
No, my father's name was Adamus.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you were being sarcastic.
Adamus?
Chadamus.
Asmodeus?
Adamus. Asmodeus is the name of Adamus is the name of your father.
Did you have a Leonard in your campaign? Am I getting campaigns
There was a
mixed
Leonard
up?
in Fall.
No.
I don't remember.
You are correct. There was a man named Leonard
Mm-hmm.
in Fall.
Was he a father?
He was the father of a man named Declan.
Yep. That's true.
What a nice guy.
Right?
Really great. Loved him. I mean, let me go look through my stuff, but I don't think so.
I will permit you, Nesgrim, a good old history check.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Why you didn't ask?
Son of a bitch! It's an 8. A solid 8.
I will tell you that the name definitely rings a bell in a distant fashion. And not the name of somebody that you obviously would know the names of the majority of the individuals that worked at the monastery where you were in Ryak. It feels like a name that the sisters use, though.
Where was this done?
The cathedral, there are halls below.
Halls below the. Okay. Like tombs?
Not like tombs, no.
Okay, good.
There's, a long hall with a series of chambers.
Okay. Do you know of anything else Father Leonard did?
I believe Father Leonard was the keeper who oversaw other projects such as myself.
Okay.
I was chosen to see for Elsith. I was not the only one chosen to see.
There are others.
Yes,
Are they still there?
if they were alive. This practice has been ongoing for a very long time.
Okay, so Elsith is not a physical form, it's more receiving her message.
I don't understand.
Do you speak to Elsith as we're speaking, or did you see for Elsith the way we do, or the visions?
More like the visions.
Okay.
I see fragments of memories. As I said, no other ones as so thoroughly detailed, despite being quite scattered. Many others were simple, well, like vignettes, single scenes.
I've had visions like that as well.
Yes,
Are they all of Elseth or from the same time?
all of my visions are from the perspective of Elsith.
Even these short ones, these vignettes.
Yes.
How did they direct your consciousness to hers?
I believe that they had the blood of Elsith.
And it was utilized in some sort of ritual.
Yes.
It's very much like yours, Ether, then.
I think it is closer to Adrian's than my own. Adrian worked with blood. I do not.
Are there seers for each of the Dawn heroes?
We were kept separate, but I believe so. I do not know if there were others who were also attempted to be seers for Elsith, if there were more than just me. But Father Leonard was quite pleased when I saw that.
I imagine by bringing you so close to death, you are mingling with the line between the two, in a ritual similar to the one that Nesgrim described Adrian performing using Elsa's blood. I imagine it has something to do with your soul, reaching the barrier between life and death, but not being allowed to cross.
Possibly.
Glimpsing things that you should not see.
It feels to me when it happens as though a part of me that has been missing or incomplete is calling out for me to find it.
Okay. I have reason to believe that my visions are of the fallen king.
I do not know this name.
Okay.
If you're looking directly at me, I'm literally blind without my glasses on, so
Oh,
I
no.
can't tell. If you're
I can't tell
if you need
help
my
right now.
attention, please direct your voice at me. I cannot see anything.
I was just looking in your general direction and
I
just, kinda
just
like,
couldn't tell.
Yeah, you're fine.
To be fair, I can see and I also couldn't tell
Right.
if he was looking at you or just looking into the distance.
DJ, upon again revisiting the subject of visions, I will permit you another glorious history check.
John, thank you.
Please.
Oh, it's better. It's
My
a
bones.
13.
My bones. I will tell you
So much better.
that the name
It's 5 better.
Father Leonard sounds very reminiscent of the time in which you were spirit walking through Melithel. And inside of that dream
I
vision,
just looked at that note. Like, yeah, okay, hang on.
there was a letter sent about things involving your parents, their blood, to keep some of it, and it was signed by a Father Leonard.
That's
Your
familiar
blood?
now.
Yes.
My father's blood, right?
Yes.
From his black blood goo,
Yes.
like I'm dying blood.
His goo blood.
My
Fair,
I'm
how
dying
descriptive.
blood.
As opposed to the
His death blood.
Yeah.
You know what I meant?
But
It was black.
yes, specifically his corrupted blood.
There you go. That's what I was looking for. Poor Nesgrim already alone, already seen as a monster. Will snatches parchment. Underground tunnel facility.
I literally said the things!
Relief like tombs carved into walls.
Uh-huh.
Decorative visages of those inside go deeper into crypt. 10 by 10 room. Stone coffin. Adamus lid is cracked open.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wait.
That was them. That was Sister Anna going down.
Anna, Willow, and Tabitha that I followed.
Mm-hmm.
Rosewood door.
Go on.
I'm scrambling here.
There's one door, 10 by 10 room.
No one here can help. Have to find someone who can. Must send letter to Oshuamp to Cathedral. Only there is hope for this. Small bit of parchment. Leovold.
Oh,
Request-
Leovold. Sorry. Forgive me. I
fine.
thought it was Leonard. You're correct. Leovold.
Oh man, I was like, where? This is somewhere. All right.
She would give the name Leovold. I thought it was Leonard.
Gotcha.
What?
So it's
How's that
not
spelled?
Leonard.
Ink's dry, John.
Yeah, it's dry on my notes for a lot longer.
Right?
I did write in pencil. I could retcon it to Leonard if necessary.
No, she would
Already-
say the name
Okay.
Leovold. Genuinely.
How was it spelled?
Leovul.
I added extra letters.
Ceremonial cleanses blood. Pulls sheet down, flesh withered, veins illuminated, dark black. Black blood drips into Patron bottle.
Nice.
Potion. Potion bottle.
Patron.
Then you didn't turn the fuck up.
From
It's gonna make a hell of a mixer.
That's
I splish splash.
Do you have your rubber ducky?
No, they're not with me.
They could be.
No one would make it.
You never checked.
If he dies, entomb him, don't bury him. Hopefully they'll come in spring. We'll do our best to keep you here with us.
The note that I have says that Leopold specifically requested that his blood be sent to the cathedral.
Correct.
And contextually, based on the surrounding notes, related it to why, if he did die, they did not want him to be buried.
Correct.
What was that reason? Because I don't have that.
I don't have the reason.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Part
they
of the
did not want
conversation.
Adamus buried.
Right.
Probably
It
wanted
was
him in tomb.
He's still
Leopold requests his blood. If he dies, do not bury him.
Right, and then at the end of my note it said because hopefully they can make it in winter. Or spring, rather. Because no one will make it during winter.
Correct.
That's right, okay.
Correct.
and the body would keep.
Yeah, in the tomb. And then it, just got up and
Like a
walked
fridge.
away. Because the end of that note is the coffin lid was open.
Correct.
I know Father Leopold.
Farm to table.
Oh,
Still.
I was raised in Ryak.
I do not know this place.
It means exiled.
Why were you exiled?
Isn't it obvious?
I'm an awesome. I'm an Awesomer.
I'm a seer. I'm blind. I'm sorry. You're an... Oh.
So I was
Like Amelia. All right.
Fucking parakeet.
the parakeet woman. Her name's Amelia.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
She's not a parakeet. You do,
Well, I know she's not a
you do
parakeet.
know that, right?
But now I will only ever see her as a parakeet.
Why?
She's
It's Nesco. I can't tell if you're in or out of character right now.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, he's in character.
No, I say that all the time, out of character too.
I don't know.
Yes, very similar to Amelia then. So I was raised in Hryak, along with like tieflings and Ganassi, not that one, oddly enough.
He's in the tub.
She'll know who I meant.
Not that one.
Not that one.
You should
Motions of the
probably
tub.
specify
Corner
that
of
your
the room.
wings are different, Nesgrim.
Oh yeah, I have,
What's not based on?
in that Amelia has white wings, mine are skeletal. They're skeletal, like skeleton wings. They're bones.
Your friend here is a great problem.
Yes, we understand that.
No, I don't think you do.
What do you mean?
That's a very corrupted blood.
Oh no, we know that.
Yes, we
Yeah.
understand
Yeah,
that.
my father, he died from the rot.
You can see her literally like shivering in fear as she looks at you. No, he is an omen of death and
Yes.
destruction and
I have
Yes.
died twice, so
We have
Where do you
seen,
think this came from?
Yeah, we have seen the prophecy.
yeah.
These things are he is.
I've witnessed wings of that destroy the world.
I don't think that's a concern for me, I promise. I got killed by a dude with a fist weapon.
We've had to try very hard to keep him alive.
It's actually a struggle to
How
keep...
thick are the walls, man?
They're not that thick.
Yeah, you hear me laughing.
You're 100%.
I'll just sink in the tub to muffle it.
Fist weapon.
Again with the dildo.
I think Nesgrim,
And once a door,
A door killed you?
I got hit with a large door. Yeah.
First time.
Nesgrim, I think if you listen to what she is saying, all of these themes that revolve around death.
Are a problem.
Yes, I think if you die and stay dead, something will possess your corpse.
Why do you think this happened?
No,
Yes.
I mean
I was
that
trying
he
to
has
keep him-
inherited wings from something
From what?
terribly evil. I fear you bear wings like the creature that I've seen in my visions.
Yeah, I could see that being a problem.
It's fine.
Everyone at the, our group is just like,
Yeah, we know. We got it.
yeah.
I can see that being a problem.
That's Nesgrim.
Yeah, nice, cool seer ability. We're walking around at the end of the world.
I mean, I've just been living my life.
He's just doing his job.
Living my life.
I don't mean to be an omen. I know that I've been told that before, that I'm an omen of awful
You've been
things.
told before that you're an omen?
I was raised by the Sisters of Acceptance, and one was not very discreet in how she felt about me.
What do you mean? What did she call you?
Well, she told me that I was an omen of awful things to come.
Oh, God.
pretty directly.
At this rate, Nesgrim, you should tell her about the blood on the sand.
Yeah, I was born in Rarfley,
I
which
do not know this place.
it means sacrifice on the sand in Orcish.
Oh,
I forget that not everyone knows this about
no.
me.
Yeah.
Frighten checks?
Is Iris here?
Yeah. Oh.
It gets.
Oh, yeah, no, Iris is absolutely
Oh,
here.
we've spilled all this to Iris.
Yeah,
already.
Iris is-
and I was just like, this tracks.
Yeah, no, she's just like looking down her glasses at her plate.
Iris,
Yes.
in this note
Yes.
that you scribed,
Yeah.
the word peace is capitalized in my peace. Why is that? It is not capitalized later. Is that a person or a thing?
I believe, yes, absolutely. I think that, well, the way that Naivara was communicating it with me as she was going through it, that piece to me felt more like a place than a person. You see, I obviously do not see the things that Naivara
Yes,
sees
of
as she
course.
sees them, but as she said, those words, well, we're very bonded. She and I emotionally, I feel very similarly to what she does as I sit and hold her hand and scribe. It is more like a transference of the knowledge to me. It felt like a place. It felt like a tomb.
Do you have to be touching her while she is seeing, or can it be transmitted after?
Usually it is best for me to be in contact with her physically to be able to understand emotionally where the emphasis is in what she is seeing. Otherwise it's,
Words are just words.
yes, a little more tone deaf. Something along those lines.
Okay. Well,
So we know you're an omen.
I'm just gonna go live my life in a padded room.
No, it's too late now.
You are already involved, Nesgrim.
No.
I fear if you were to live in a padded room, that whatever it is stirring inside of you would eventually tear you to shreds from within.
Okay.
It's comforting.
Yeah, that's
That's fine. This is fine.
is what am I to do about that?
Purify yourself.
In what way?
I mean, find a way to rid yourself of the wicked, corrupted blood that flows within your veins.
We're familiar with one ritual. There might be another.
Okay. I mean, I'm not opposed.
From experience, it's unpleasant.
But if what they're saying is true, something tearing me apart from the inside sounds a little bit more unpleasant.
Why do you think I went through with it?
Yeah. Is that a ritual you could do? Do you have any knowledge of a way for me to do that?
I mean, we have knowledge of rituals across many fields of magical study. None such as that, but I'm certain that Iris would be able to at least investigate it further.
Okay, this may be worth pointing out to you as well. In the vision where I had seen Father Leovold, at the end of that vision, I saw my father's casket, which was just slightly ajar and open.
Is your father dead?
Yeah. And then the casket was open after he was entombed.
Did they remove his body?
Maybe. I did see someone sneaking around in the tomb-like area. I had assumed that... Well, this is gonna sound kind of odd saying it out loud. I assumed my father had come back to life and exited the coffin on his own accord.
Why?
These things happen to me.
We all saw this vision?
Yes, as you
Yeah.
spirit walked with him.
It did seem like the most logical thing at the time.
Yeah, honestly.
It seemed like
I
it
can't
made
even
sense.
follow
Now that you
for that,
say it,
man.
it sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, it really does.
Sounded
Though to be
ridiculous
fair,
the first time
I
he said
think-
it.
I think
ridiculous.
To be fair, I think when that vision happened, I think he yelled it, and we all probably had that imprinted in our brains because he screamed it. I think,
He may
if I
have been-
recall
he-
correctly.
I would say it's the second most likely thing to occur.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but we didn't consider the first most likely thing to occur, which is that someone took him.
Yeah,
I mean, I considered that.
Yeah,
You didn't
I
say
didn't.
anything.
it's more
You
fun
just
that
let
way.
us. You just let us.
that
I
way.
think I probably said that's an assumption. And then he just ran with it.
You probably said.
Oh, great. So I thought it was the rot. It says, don't touch him, don't know what he has or if I have it.
And what was that? The vision?
Yep.
Hands off.
No one here can help. Must send letter, Oshuamp Cathedral. Small parchment.
Got the clap. Oh man, that's sad
Well,
because you're immune to diseases, but not that
Anna
one.
and Tabitha in nightgowns, underground tunnel facility, sneak through halls, relief-like tombs carved into walls,
I'm sorry,
decorative
what?
visages.
What was that? Was that relief?
Relief-like
Yeah.
tombs,
Okay.
yeah. Go deeper into crypt, 10 by 10. Elevated stone coffin on top. Plaque, I spelled plaque so wrong. IDs as Adamus. Lid is cracked open, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no indication if he was like grave robbed or if he just got up and walked away.
I think they probably stole his body.
Why would
The other option is he got up and walked away.
why would they steal his body? Why would, if his body was desecrated and corrupted, as Nivara says, why would they need it?
If it was anything like
They wanted his blood.
they wanted his blood or they wanted to spread the corruption.
Or they simply wanted to know what it was. If they were not certain.
Doing an old message search there, sir.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? Huh? Checking the old memory banks?
Memory pals?
Arthur Heartwood.
So I'm still just confused as to what to do with this information now.
I mean, Nivara would again look over at Iris, and Iris still like looking down at her plate, like she's not even eating. She's just staring down, like over her glasses at her plate, like her, fingers on her forehead as she's thinking. Yeah, I mean, I guess like I don't know, like we could kill you, drain your blood, and bring you back, and I don't know if that would do anything. It feels less like a ritual and more just a murder. As for what we did with your friend here, that was clearly a cleansing. That was a cleansing of a magical thing that was embedded inside of her. If this is just who you are, it's just who you are, and I don't know whether or not that can be, cleansed or identified and removed. Things like that were definitely done inside of the cathedral, but not by me. There were specific people inside that were responsible for the more medical side of the experimentations that were done on the people, and I'm not one of those people. I don't know whether or not we have a doctor in our midst that is capable of something along those lines, or whether or not any of the doctors inside of the cathedral could be as well.
Corin did bring me back to life one time.
Did he taste your blood?
Hey, Corin.
No.
Give me the excuse.
You
did
walk in
not.
the room ready to.
I mean, Corin is technically still in the room.
I was wondering that actually, because he
Yeah.
hasn't said anything. I
Yeah,
wasn't sure if
Corin's
he.
just hanging out in here, just doing his old Corin, sitting around. I mean,
In the corner, away
Yeah,
from
in
the
the corner.
sunlight.
like a little umbrella.
mhm. Very proud of you, Don.
Is it that?
I mean,
Oh my god.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay.
Did either figure out something,
No.
or did you?
Nope. I
Oh,
did.
no.
He doesn't know. I can't tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh me, oh my!
Is it
Yeah.
not something he can figure out?
Mm-mm. He does not have any context at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Corin 100% would just kind of lean out of the dark corner. His blood smells foul, but clearly he's alive. And I've always sensed something wrong in you. Felt kind of like what was done to her.
Okay.
So no, Corin did not taste my blood, it seems.
No.
Thank you, Corin. Iris, it seems that Corin didn't drink my blood.
Yeah, she would just be like, yeah, I mean, it's probably for the best. Like, I get that he's a vampire and stuff and, needs to drink blood to be able to live because he can't eat regular meals, but I don't think you're a regular meal. I think you're something quite...
Delectable.
I mean, it's a curious, confident choice of words.
Corin did use the word foul.
Yes, I was going to say, unique or suspicious.
Sorry, Adrian
Sauce.
referred to me as delectable.
He said you would make a delectable poultice.
Yeah, that's true.
Specifically.
I mean, Ether...
Gotta go!
I mean, Adrian did study inside of the Inner Sanctum, do not forget. He was one of the individuals who worked on the medical side of things.
Is it possible he could have made it worse?
Pardon me?
Could he have made it worse?
Like, made you more of a devil or
Yeah.
whatever it is you are?
Yeah, or like activated it in some way, or...
Activated it. That's definitely a better word for it. Possibly. Something like a
Or-
wheel inside of you might have been already slowly spinning and he might have accelerated that process.
Didn't your
Great.
tears activate it?
I mean, have you always had bone wings?
That memory I had as a kid.
Yes.
Yeah, bone wings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Memory comes to mind of me as a child fighting other children with...
Beating up other kids.
Never boneless wings.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
The Nesgrim fist.
So the first instance you had it was in a fit of rage, and when was the second?
Grief? It was someone got hurt, killed, knocked down, something. It was in combat. I remember
I thought
that.
it was a controlled
It
environment.
was a
Didn't you cry in
controlled
the- didn't you
environment
cry
in
in
the
the basement?
basement.
Yeah.
I thought we did that one after I had cried in like combat.
You
I went,
attempted to cry in combat, we were level 2, and I said you didn't have it yet.
Sure, that's right. Okay.
I held you real tight and made you cry, boy.
Felix,
Just you wait.
there's no way to say this without it sounding absurd.
He
Felix,
cried in the basement, surrounded by his friends.
after Felix tied me up,
It was in my room.
it was for their safety. As a, we didn't know.
Tie me up for your safety.
We didn't know what was gonna happen.
Yes, you unleashed, I imagine, what could be described as just a fragment of the power that lay within you.
Yeah, and then I
Whatever it
screamed.
is related to, at least I believe, in a Koram by the name of the Fallen King. It sounds like the corruption is actually in a spirit that resides within Nesgrim.
I mean, there's a thing that fell out. I mean,
Oh,
Dumar fell out
fucking
of
the
the
dude
sky.
who fell.
Yeah,
All right, great. Okay. Yep.
smoke and bone.
So I'm the thing that she fought. Excellent.
The big scary
Fucking why
thing.
wouldn't I be? Great.
Nice, dude.
Tattered wings.
I'm the big bad evil guy. Son of a bitch.
Kill him.
I mean,
Oh, that's Corin.
Kill him.
At the end
Oh,
of
boy.
me crying, I screamed, "The fallen king shall reclaim his throne." Not willingly. But
He won't reclaim his throne willingly.
no,
He will unwillingly reclaim his throne.
no, that didn't.
You yelled on.
I don't wanna.
I don't want to be on the throne no more. Oh my god.
Yeah, so I
There was a voice from inside of you that called out then?
huh?
there's a lot of spooky stuff that happened.
Yeah.
And you do not know this voice? You did not recognize it? It was not the voice of anyone in your family or your bloodline or relatives, anything? I would tell you no.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Um,
And you speak of these things called a quorum?
Yes.
And Iris would once again just kind of look at Nivara. Yeah, he's told me a fair bit about them. They seem like ancestral spirits of, well, different variety in the way that they interact with people. So kind of like locked away memories. Yes, one might draw a fitting conclusion such as that. Thank you. You're welcome.
Are Ecorum... I feel like I've asked this before. Are Ecorum always good?
John?
Yeah, the answer that we had come to before was that as far as you know, all of your experiences, all of them have been good.
That's right. This is where the prism conversation happened.
Correct.
That's right. It's possible there could be evil Ecorum then? Or malicious Ecorum? Bad
I
Ecorum?
do not believe so.
Sure. So then that doesn't seem to be a thing I could necessarily cleanse myself of? Or if I could, I would not want to?
I do not know.
Perhaps it is not you that needs to be cleansed.
But the Ecorum?
If it is truly corrupted.
Do you know of any way of cleansing Ecorums?
It's not the sort of thing that happens every day.
Does
I'm
your
sure.
Ecorum reside within you?
In a manner of speaking, yes.
And you're able to channel its power into things?
How do you mean?
Like, you're able to channel its power to achieve some thing you want to achieve?
This is very vague.
Yeah. Are you able to channel its power?
Do you mean magic?
Can you channel its power into things?
Do you mean magic?
What?
Like
Into
actions.
things.
Into actions. Sorry, that might be a little bit better. Into actions.
You mean like your wings?
Yes. Or, yeah.
All of the Ecorum are different. But I think, as far as what you're getting at, the answer is yes.
Okay.
At this point, absolutely. Iris would look over at the very concerned Ether staring still at the piece of paper. Do you have a question, my friend?
This fallen king that he mentions,
Yes.
perhaps Dumar?
I mean, as far as we understood, Dumar was not a king of anything.
The name The Fallen King isn't so much a title as it is a moniker, or like a pseudonym.
Like a title?
Yes.
Okay.
Which I guess could be...
I mean, a man who does noble things could be ascribed kingship.
Did Dumar do something noble?
Oh, sounds quite noble.
Yes.
But he was again known as the Aegis. He was the shield. He was there to protect Elsith in the Battle of Dawn, and seemingly did so. Which was why he was also called the Light.
What makes you ask after this, Ether?
Why do you think that he fell?
Talks about plummeting. The last light. Dumar, my Aegis, the last night plummeted amidst smoke and bone.
And Iris would look over at Nivara, and Nivara would look back at Iris. Yes, I remember seeing it. But Dumar was not falling from the sky.
Did he fall into the ground?
No.
I'm assuming he fell in the battle.
He plummeted. I've seen rock and land plummet into a hole.
Yes.
Like, that was Dumar.
Yes.
I've seen that happen.
Yes.
What?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Hang on.
Is this the snowfields?
Yep, this was the Melithel and Melisy one. Obviously out of character because we haven't talked about them yet.
Did we all see this or just you?
I think this
we all
one.
saw it. We saw it right after the bit about him,
Mhm.
right? Because theirs was at the very end and his was right before it.
Mhm.
Correct.
And mine
that's
was the
right.
silver threads and trees getting drained of. That's probably relevant to point out here as well, too. Then, huh?
Like they did.
At this point, I'm talking to seers. These are all the people that I should be telling.
like in
this
the
shit to.
play. Like what happened in the play.
Oh yeah, pretty much that.
Like what happened in the play.
Uh-huh.
The play that we saw.
Yeah.
The spooky play.
Yep. Like what happened there? Yeah.
Those.
Sorry, it takes time for these things to process for me that they're related.
Wait, what? I missed something? What?
Yeah, it's fine. Just the vision I had was the same thing we saw in Felfarthen. It's fine.
In the spooky play.
Oh, yeah. Well, wait, no, your vision was slightly different, wasn't it?
It was silver thread, trees, forest, pretty place, seeped to black and white.
Okay.
You guys didn't make this connection when we saw that in the play?
Mm-mm.
I did.
Yeah, I just thought it was
we
obvious.
talked about it. I could sworn-
Yeah, we talked about it vaguely.
Okay. I thought
got
I
nothing.
pointed it out.
I mean, it's not
I mean-
indicative of anything. Yeah, fair. I mean, you're not wrong. That's not indicative of if it happened or not. I'm concerned that Sarah doesn't remember. Because I'd count on you and Paul to remember when I couldn't.
Don't count on me to remember things that happened like a year prior. It's
Counting
not-
on Paul.
I don't even know which vision that was, dude.
I'm counting on myself. We're all screwed. Anyway,
John knows what's going on, at least.
yeah, so I also had a vision of like trees getting sapped of color.
You were talking about the desecration of the Mythwoad.
Yep. Yeah, I've seen that as well.
That was more recent. The Mythwoad was drained of life not long ago.
Do we know by who?
Who drained the life of the Mythwoad?
Yeah.
I mean, I do not believe it was a singular source. It came with the fall of Alglatha and I mean, Naivar would look at Iris, and Iris would just kind of like, you know, give an exasperated sigh in the same way that like a teacher that like has done a thing
Who has spelled it out and you're still not getting it. It's
has
like,
just like removed her glasses, goes, oh my god. Okay, again, we'll go over the desecration of the Mythwoad. The Mythwoad was the forests around the palace out Oglatha, the hereditary home of the Eladrin here in the north. The Prince of Frost is an individual who supposedly wore a corrupted, terrible ring and brought about the fall of his family. And the corruption was subsequent to a trade that was made, and all things went terribly afterwards, as the bloodline itself was, again, corrupted is a word that fittingly comes to mind. And if the bloodline is metaphorically related to the trees themselves would have been corrupted,
okay.
wicked,
Do you-
stained.
Out of character.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're in not good company for me to say this, but like
Mhm.
We already
Melis.
know.
Yeah, okay.
When did Felfarthen fall?
Just shy of 300 years.
And how long ago did the Mythwood corruption begin?
Almost 2000. Yeah, and that's relatively much
Okay,
sooner
yeah.
compared to the Dawn War that was over 8,000 years ago. We've got a few old things in relative sense of time.
That tracks.
Yeah, we have in here the Fallen King and Ikorum has been cited as not a physical objection, but a position or elevation of power and ascension.
Mhm.
So plummeting is falling from that, probably. And reclaiming the throne would be re-ascension.
So he became the fallen king when he fell, and he's going back from the throne he fell from.
It's not a throne. He would be reascending.
Right, not a literal throne.
Yes.
But like
Correct.
that position,
Yes.
that place of power, like the metaphorical throne.
Yes.
#1 used car salesman.
But yes, again, you know, Mythwoad drained of its purity in the silver. That is why the people of the Eldrin are called Silver Elves. Silver and Moon Elves, to be precise.
I've never heard this.
Yeah, I mean, you grew up effectively in a remote, closeted sect of the Eldrin, not in the palace of the hierarchy. You are to them, to be rude, a peasant. Redneck. You are nothing.
Redneck Eldrin.
Y'all got any Eldrin?
Troy takes a little bit of offense to that.
Absolutely.
Because her family still thought they were better than the other elves.
Nope.
If Dumar was not the fallen king, perhaps Dumar possessed the Ikorum that is the fallen king before you.
Perhaps the bad omen that I personify isn't brought upon my death, but by my ascension.
Perhaps the only way to cleanse yourself is to ascend.
I can cry if you want.
Getting pretty good at it. I can do
Just
it all the way.
100%, she just slow blinks. Looks down at the plate.
Oh, sorry, that's how I activate my wings, is by crying.
I do not think they wish to see that. That might be a problem.
Not now immediately, but
Yes.
I mean, does he remain in control of himself?
will it be too much for Nivara?
He has remained in control, but we have had precautions in place.
I have no reason to think I would lose control.
You
Theoretically,
hear Corin loudly crack his knuckles.
Yeah, and plus we've got plenty of bodies here in case I do. I was taken down by a man with a fist weapon. I think you'll all manage.
Yes.
the risk was higher before as well when I was dealing with the corruption. Why are you looking at me like that?
It's fine.
What does that look for, John?
It's fine.
What does that mean?
Yeah, no, Iris would
you said
100%. Iris would 100% look at Nivara, who obviously still looks shaken and upset. And Nivara would say, it has always been for the betterment of everyone, and I will not let my fear get in the way of protecting people. And I know that you do not crave knowledge for personal gain. And Iris would smile and nod, thankfully, and look at you and say, yeah, I mean, it's not every day that you get to see somebody produce fucking skeletal wings outside of their body, and if they are, in fact, related as we have surmised and hypothesized to the vision that Nivara had, if you have been invested with those wings, we already know where the claws are. We do not know.
No.
What?
Camilla. That's the...
Filed black claw.
I feel so bad because I felt like I should have jogged something, and I just blank mind, clear eyes, just
Head empty.
Camilla has the claws. The literal physical claws.
Oh right, okay.
Yes. We know where the claws are. If you possess the wings, it gives us another piece of the puzzle.
Understood.
We
Okay.
are looking to find the entirety of its body.
How many pieces are there?
Do not yet know.
Probably.
We do not even yet know where all of them might be, or if all of them still remained in physical tact in this world.
Mother.
Besides, a creature the size that this one was, a dragon of such magnitude, is grand in scale. Quite literally. But if you inherited the wings, we can also at least piece together where you got them from, and who might possess them.
Here I go then.
Here I go crying.
Here I go crying again. And I'm gonna cry.
What are you
Just
crying
right
at?
here at the table.
I mean, anything.
Yeah, what would you think of this time?
Stub your toe real hard on the.
How many saves do you have to?
Why are you coming for me, DJ? I stumped my toe today.
I didn't know that.
I know you did.
We should assume on most days he stubs his toe.
As someone who's lived with him, yes.
What would Nesgrim think of?
Shit, I don't know. Because last time it was Ritora's condition.
You were thinking of the death of your father.
You're right. No, you're right. That
For
was
what
it
you
was.
thought and brought about, for what made you cry, was the death of your father.
Tried and true. We're gonna go with thinking about dead dad.
Luna said getting told that Nivara has a wife.
It's just immediate tears. Yeah, no, I'll think about good old rotten dad.
I will ask you to make a history check as you do this.
17.
Do you have a 0 modifier for your?
I sure do. Yeah. It's int. I don't have good int. I have 2 stats that are 0 modifiers, dex and int.
Oh, it's a 0. Okay.
It was before we had the modified standard array, and we were still rolling. Do we have a minute before a thing happens? Because I got pee.
Oh yeah, go right ahead. I was just looking for when this date was.
No, you're fine.
All right, come on. I'll shake you. Shake.
You know, DJ stayed in this bathroom because you didn't hear the door lock.
Hello. Hello. Can we get a hello in the chat?
He locked this door, but not the other one, so Paul's gonna walk in on him from the other side.
No.
I mean, I'm gonna say things have been 100%.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's fine, right?
Yeah, it's totally fine. Okay. Okay.
What a good time, dude. Ugh.
There's a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah. Yeah. There has been a lot of stuff.
Thank you, Luna. Thank you, Vulpix. Thank you, CMS. Even though you didn't do it.
I will also... Did you just stump your toe?
Tripped on the rug.
God. I will also hearken you to think about the traditional association of alignment of those things.
Mm.
You should look it
I'm going to.
up.
Alignment of what?
Nothing.
It's not our business.
Uh-huh. Just...
Empty head, clear eyes.
I will remind you.
Smooth brain.
That specific type of them specifically, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah, I will remind you with a very good history check as you begin to sit and think once more about the death of your father. That for some reason comes into your mind the idea that, like, you don't often think of your mother. Ouch. And that your mother's death was also incredibly tragic as she died suddenly. And you were not old.
Yeah, I was young. I was young.
Yeah, you were 20.
When my mother died?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought I was like toddler age.
No.
Oh, yeah, that's slightly different.
Yeah, no, you were a young man, and your mother died suddenly.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, that, I mean...
We'll also remind you that your father and you secretly burnt her body in the woods. Secretly. Like, not as a thing that was done as a cultural or religious thing inside of Ryak or via the Sisters of Sorrow, burial and things of that nature were absolutely commonplace and the norm.
That's why my dad was buried that way.
And
Makes
your
sense.
dad said, we have to burn her.
Did you see why we had... No, right?
What was your history check? 17?
17.
I would say that it is very strange that your father didn't give you a reason for why she had to be burned.
Oh, alright.
What does your mother's teeth look like?
Ah! My boy!
Are they a little on the pointy side?
He was just doing his job.
I would give you no indication whatsoever that your mother felt to you like a vampire during her life. Your mom suddenly got real sick
Better
and
bloodlight.
died.
Right.
Like, day time frame. Like, oh my god, came home, mom's sick, mom's dead. We gotta go burn her. Like,
Happy birthday!
like this should feel weird because it's
Wearing a party
weird.
hat.
No, it definitely feels weird. It just never struck as weird before for some reason.
That's why I'm saying it feels weird that it didn't feel that
I
weird.
was like, it's just a thing that happens, man. I don't know.
Maybe
What
that's
the
what
fuck,
Nesgrim
man?
thinks.
It was after you died as a 21-year-old man that your father suddenly became invested in training you in combat.
After I died?
No, after your mother
she
died.
Sorry, I thought you said after. Okay, sorry.
No,
You
after
did say
she
you.
died.
I was confused about that.
Sorry.
as
Yeah, I
well.
thought he
I was like, I
died.
died 3 times?
God, another one?
No.
Nice.
Let's make it 4.
After your mom died as a 21-year-old man, your father went, it's time for you to learn to fight. That's another thing that's
And
tears as you realize, why did we burn mom? Why did we do that? And absolutely, you burst forth the bone wings.
I would look away as he was like, I'm
Oh yeah,
I
make
would
make a save.
I would look down.
Yeah, we're not in a combat situation. I'll say that obviously everybody, NPC-wise, is, taken aback, shocked. Except for Iris and Levi.
The fuck?
Yeah, red wings.
Levi's an Asmar.
No.
Levi's a halfling, a little halfling.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said
Tiny
halfling.
Tiny halfling
A very
boy.
small halfling.
With the bread?
Bread.
With the bread?
He's got little chicken wings.
Bread some more.
He's a half Samar. You know?
Yeah, Iris would look at you as you cry and sprout these wings. Nivara would look shocked and shaken and upset and dismayed. She would clearly start to emotionally react and her lips would quiver and she would tremble. Iris would lay an arm around her to steady her, so would Faye. Yeah, I mean, they absolutely look at you and point and then gesture towards the letter and go, you bear the same wings.
It's not a great sign.
Nope. I wonder if there's a piece of the fallen king in, like you said, Camilla had the claws. What if there's a piece of the fallen king in everyone who holds a piece of him? Not a piece physically, but, his spirit, his, like an Akorum.
Camilla was given those claws
Do we know where Camilla got them from?
From the rotten one.
She was given those against her will.
From the
Rotting one.
the one that cursed me.
Is it safe to assume then that my wings would have come from the same place?
This is a very Zoolander. I mean, who are you asking? Are you asking me, the DM? Is that an inference you should make, or?
That'd probably be more toward like Iris and
Okay,
Nivara.
so like Iris is a super intelligent woman with like low connectivity in terms of like being able to piece together weird theoretical things. She would look like initially slightly confused. I mean, you were talking about being born down on a beach on the other side, and this shit's up here. That doesn't seem like it makes any sense to me.
Well,
the
we've
vines.
seen Widow's Whale very far away from here, deep in the heart of the Felwood even.
Not even further than that, in my home. In the Avith Woods. That's why I'm here. This
That's
spreads much further than just this area.
That's really bad.
Also,
And the only thing that I can tell you is that assuredly we know that it happened up here.
what happened up here? That?
Yes.
Okay.
Which would mean that the body was up here.
Yes. Unless pieces of it had been found and taken.
Perhaps.
If this occurred 8,000 years ago, sir, that is not an insignificant amount of time for people to have taken pieces.
And how would they pass those pieces down?
What do you mean, pass them down?
I was born with these.
Yes.
How?
But I think yours are projection. Do you know what I mean?
An image of his, not
Yes.
the literal.
That you are desecrated with the corrupted blood. And that you project, you manifest.
The end of that note. I taste his blood on my tongue.
Yes.
Is that the blood of the dragon or Dumar?
Sounds like the blood of Dumar.
Yes.
And at that point of talking about the blood of Dumar, Nivara would hesitantly kind of interject as a... He didn't bleed red
Was it black?
at the end. Yes.
Dumar?
The blood that oozed out from his injuries did not bleed red. It bled black.
My father's blood bled black.
Uh-huh.
Is Dumar a dwarf?
Yes.
Did I see any mom blood?
Mom blood number 5.
You mean on your mother's death? Like,
Yeah, like did I see?
no,
like,
your mom would have been literally in a fucking like burlap sack, tied up, cinched on a fucking funeral pyre, and your dad would have been, we gotta burn her! Not that, but like she would have been in a containment,
Not that, but that.
like,
she died from what seemed to be an illness.
uh-huh.
Would she have like coughed any black shit? Like, was there any indication that she had black blood? That's what
I
I'm
would
looking for.
indicate to you, no, that whatever transpired with your mom, that you, because it progressed so rapidly, that there was not really an interval for you to have seen that. Like, your mother literally fell ill, dropped dead.
Okay.
your father became ill and took approximately a year to die. Like, that.
It was definitely two different types of illness.
I would also indicate to you that, like, this is a DM, like, as a meta-ing thing that we have talked about, like, the immunity of diseases for paladins not being a full stretch, but giving them resistance to a thing, aka Corin. Your dad trained you as a paladin, effectively.
Courts is dead.
Right. And then my dad was a paladin as well, right? Which is
Correct.
why he was able to last longer than a
your
day
mom.
than my mom.
Correct.
Right, gotcha. Okay.
But eventually succumbed to the terrible disease and died. Your mom, as not one of those things, healed over within like a 18-hour period.
And theoretically, the only reason it hasn't consumed me is because I'm a paladin with resistance to it.
Mm-hmm.
Understood.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been unwell?
Not any worse than usual. I mean,
What were your...
He did drink some dirt at one point in time.
that was pretty bad, but
That was circumstantial, though.
Circumstantial.
Why are we bringing up?
I mean, I'm always a little tired if I'm being honest, but
Just bummed out all the time.
What... Your father's illness... What was it?
well, presumably it was the rot.
Would also remind you that you absolutely had a run-in with some dead orcs
Yeah, the white orcs.
with the black claw on their chest.
Yep.
But the symptoms, you knew your father was...
Yeah, dark circles under the eye, very white face, pale. My mother just died much more quickly.
It was the same thing, though.
Yeah, and we burnt my mother very quickly. So, is it something I'm carrying in my spirit or something I'm carrying in my blood?
Perhaps both.
Perhaps it's in my spirit because it is in my blood, or vice versa.
We've
Whatever it is, it came from
This is
early on.
an outrageous question.
Let me
because I
hear it.
know the answer. We've seen Nesgrim bleed before, right?
It was red.
Yeah.
Normal
he
red-
bleeds normal red blood.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We definitely asked
Has
that
he
before.
ever not
We did
bled
double check.
normal
Yes.
red blood?
Nope. Always bled normal red blood.
Liquid Kool-Aid. Ooh, nice.
It's cool and colored.
Just
Purple.
give myself a little poke on my finger. Not really.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, even if you did, you would legitimately bleed red.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Except me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The play that we watched, that
Mhm.
was Dumar fighting with whatever
His
this
brother.
thing was.
Yes, and fighting with his brother. Mhm.
Okay. And which one of them got you'll claw through the side?
Dumar did.
Dumar did.
Yeah. Durgan got fucking obliterated.
And Dumar got
Dumar got shanked and clawed and walked away.
right,
and
right.
walked away carrying the body of Elsith.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Iris, how did they eventually kill that dragon?
Kill?
Well, it's not still around, is it?
We don't know. That is the only vision that has ever been of it. Elsith was the only one alive. Dumar died doing that. Elsith
Where-
was the only one who saw what happened, and that is why they are very much obsessed with seeing through Elsith's eyes.
Is this public knowledge?
No. God, no.
Where did the dwarves get it? Where did he get that information? Why were we able to see it?
I wonder if...
Ritora is referring to a play that we saw in Felfartham. More visions of this.
How did dead dwarves produce a play.
There's a
Illusion.
What if the
Illusions.
dwarves just found it?
found what?
Felfarthen.
But it was Balor who showed us that. His tricks.
Yeah, you say Balor, and Iris would be like, a Balor was there? Pardon me? What the No, you don't just get to gloss over the presence of a devil.
Oh yes, yep, that was there too. Actually, that part didn't seem as important right now.
The devil.
Yeah,
Did
we almost died. It was very dangerous.
Balor that she is referring to is a name that was given by a spirit of a dwarven man.
What was
spoke with a spirit?
A few times, yes.
He was very present in Felfarthen.
He seemed to have a significant amount of control over the area.
I'm imagining he was a very magical man.
I think he was.
Try to understand.
Did we get his
Oh,
real
I
name?
understand the extent the magic can go to. You are dealing with a creature that is clearly of a magnitude of power that is not common at all.
Yes.
Yeah.
That seems to be pretty standard for us.
He,
As
Come
far
across
as the-
things that are uncommon.
You called it a devil.
Yes.
Whatever it was, he summoned it toward the end.
Oh, dear God.
had a whip made of fire.
A whip made of fire?
Mm-hmm. It was very big
And
and
he
red.
summoned this thing through his own magic?
I mean, the magic in Felfarthen was different.
Different?
It was more powerful in some cases and less powerful in others.
Things went awry there.
It was quite chaotic.
It's rare to hear.
Hmm.
Rita, you said that you understood the language that it spoke in.
The fucking devil thing?
That's the one, yes.
Yeah, big horny guy.
Mm-hmm.
No, not Ezra.
That's
the
the other
guy
one.
with the big horns.
Yes.
Yeah,
He was like, get them. something
I
like
mean, he said he wanted to eat them.
I believe he said something about a shadow elf.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, 100% Iris would again just be like, oh my fucking god.
You mentioned the presence of the Eldrin being known as silver elves or moon elves.
Yes.
What is a shadow elf?
Oh, Eve.
A shelf, if you will.
Okay.
The elf that's on the shelf.
Okay.
It's easier.
I guess we probably should have told you the whole story. Things were a little. There were
We
more
had-
pressing issues when,
Yeah.
when we got in.
I intended to tell you when we had more downtime.
Yes.
Which
it's
is, I guess,
fine.
what this is.
This is a very lovely breakfast. Yes.
Would you like some tea? I can.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Good God.
Speaking of tea.
Yes, shadow elf, devil. Okay. Shadow elf. Shadow elves are creatures that serve and practice directly under the behest of, spirit of death that has survived.
What form does that spirit take?
A tall woman, clad in black cloak.
And I would look at Ether, who is still here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Could it... Yeah,
Look at
okay.
Nesgriven.
Like a raven queen.
You can't say that if you don't know what that means.
What? Didn't he tell us?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he...
He explained his vision.
Yeah.
Raven Queen.
I don't
And
think
we...
he's used those words.
I
No.
don't think he's used a
And certainly not in conjunction with one another.
Sure.
It's
But I
fine.
mean,
He's
Shadow
back.
Elf, get
He's
over
back.
here.
the connection to Shadow Elf
Somebody
was already
repeat the
made.
words for him.
They asked about Shadow Elf. Iris explained that they are a particular set of elves that function underneath, directly working for a spirit of death that has somehow survived. TJ then said, like a Raven Queen. And and they were talking about whether or not you have ever actually specifically used the words in character in front of people as Ether, the Raven Queen.
I have not.
She was described as a tall woman dressed in black.
Mm-hmm.
And then I looked at you,
Yes.
and you...
Weren't here. That sounds like what I saw, yes.
Yes, you are an elf that seems to traverse in shadow,
Yes.
in spaces between life and death.
Yes.
And the visions that you seem to have are centered around death and the passage of people. That is what this figure does. It guides souls. And I imagine that that is what you were taught in the arts of, the rituals of.
It was never given a name, but
Yes, shadow elves are less, again, a race and more a moniker of sorts. As I imagine, well, the people there that see you probably realize that you look different when you're there.
in what sense?
Wreathed in shadow. Not entirely physical. More an ethereal presence. Mr. Ether.
Boo.
Spooky.
I can't tell you how long I spent trying to think of what that meant for ether, like alcohol.
What?
Ether's name.
This week, and Don walked into it, part 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes, I did.
Ether,
Yes.
you believe that Marlowe came from this figure?
Yes.
If she is in control of all spirits, and if it was in fact Marlowe that distributed my own Ikoram, perhaps she is in charge of where those land.
Perhaps she distributed the fallen king.
To our good friend Nesgrim.
Ether's gonna...
Mm-hmm. Where are you gonna walk?
Quickly?
Not quickly, I can't go anywhere quickly ever.
Good.
Just gonna like up and leave mid-conversation.
At that, yeah. Honestly, probably outside.
Sure.
I think that makes the most sense for him
Sure.
to try to contact.
Sure.
How long has Felix been gone?
Still enjoying his bath.
Like half an hour, 45 minutes. Join the tub.
Tubby time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as you crawl out and, hobble away and leave, I feel like that is a fine point to transition to everyone else leaving and giving me just Felix. Good old bath time, buddy.
None of us have seen Wembley. It's just
Drinking!
I'm assuming hearing the stuff about Shadow Elf, there's just bubbles rising as Felix is just like, damn stupid elf. I knew he couldn't be trusted.
Alright, I have to make sure I annotate this right. It's tubby time in my notes.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, there we go.
Yeah, you are enjoying a very soothing, calming experience. The room is not that large. It's obviously going to be filled with steam because Wembley put it at a legitimately very nice, comfortable temperature for you. After the experience of relaxation, obviously in the distance you can genuinely hear them because I don't want to make sure that we fuck that up. You do hear them distantly. They sound more like echoes. So if you were to hear people through like vents.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, you are sat here alone, comfortably, door closed, enjoying the bath.
I'll just kind of sink under the water a little bit and think to myself, hello, are you there?
So I would say that a brief moment passes, and you're obviously very in touch with yourself intellectually. Like, you are very aware that your mind is your own, and there's a different sense of, like, release that comes as you lay under the water, fine with holding your breath as a water ganassi. Or you actually breathe.
I can breathe it.
So, yeah, you just, take a deep breath and watch the bubbles rise to the height of the water, and as the bubbles above you reach the crest of that water and burst, and you can see that, like, faint little rippling out, you see what looks like, obviously, based upon your only experience in the vision that you had while spirit walking, you would see just, like, the face kind of ripple in as that bubble bursts of what would look like your mother, very quickly shimmering and spreading over the height of the water.
Does it disappear or does it stay there?
It stays there.
Hello?
Your mother would give you a very simple, soft smile. Comforting.
Are you alright? Last time you spoke to me, you sounded tired.
I would tell you that she kind of gives a slow, exasperated sigh where you see her shoulders rise very heavily and sag. And she just kind of like lets her eyes roll and closes them for a second and then opens them once again. And you would hear what would sound like the reverberations through the water. Obviously, it's not going to have the bubbly like, but it would sound distant.
Okay.
It is tiring to hold on.
To me?
Very little of me remains. It is only through the strength of the voice that I still live with you.
What voice?
The spirit that I had. Spirit given by our people.
In a quorum?
Yes.
So you are not one?
I possessed one. Couldn't tell your father. He was a very understanding man, but was overly concerned with why. And some things just are, Felix.
How much time do we have left?
I do not know. Perhaps days. But it is difficult to project at all.
Where will you go?
The spirit of the voice will remain inside of you and bear my memories now. Instead of returning to the pool of wisdom. You are a pool of knowledge, Felix, in and of yourself. Be like water, and you will have unlimited potential to grow.
I don't understand. What if I don't want it?
You do not have to accept it. I would understand. Should you deny it, it would return, as would I, to the pool of wisdom in my homeland.
And there I could find you?
Fragments of me, yes. my life would be stored.
Just gonna kind of widen my eyes and take a deep breath in.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot to take in.
I know.
But you've been able to see what I see and experience what I experience this whole time?
Yes, in parts. Waxes and wanes like faces.
I'm sorry. It must have been difficult for you to not be able to communicate with me or Dad.
It was... well... I missed your father very much. But I could... not of my own volition or choice always manifest. Your power, your ability to spur your imagination into reality. That is what has made me.
I don't...
Felix, no other Ikorum has ever held on to one of its holders after they have died.
So is that... So, I'm sorry, I don't understand. The Ikorum? You're not actually Anna? You're the Ikorum?
I am, well, a blending of the two.
And you, when I was born, chose to pass on with me?
Yes, Ikorum are supposed to return to the pool of wisdom.
And instead...
I wanted to stay with you. I was worried things would not... I was worried people would see you as something strange. That you would be mistreated, abused, an outcast, and I did not want you to be alone.
Well, Gamma was nice. This, this place isn't so bad after getting to know some people.
Yes. All I ever wanted for you, Felix, was a family.
Just kind of stare at her.
Mm. And she would, as a mother would, sigh in a sense of, like, fatigue after a very long, tiring day. You have grown up to be stronger than I could have ever dreamed.
Were you able to do anything like this? Anything that I've done?
Some things like it, but not remotely to the extent that you have been able to create. I worked in the library because I was desperate to understand. Not the full extent of what an Ikorum could be, but the powers that they held. There are memories that are locked away inside of an Ikorum, of a world beyond ours. A world that I've seen, only in pieces, through the lives of other people that have held it.
Are you talking about what, similar to what Nivara can do?
Oh, Felix.
Can you show me?
Do not think so. The power of the Ikorum is not mine to control. and you are still quite new to it. It takes time to familiarize yourself with your spirit, to align, to find in that very vacant, wide void of darkness, to find the light and be able to look into it. Even those who possess a quorum do not always have many visions during their lifetime of holding it.
Do you have any tips for how I should start?
There is more than one Akorum bearer in your friends.
Yaluma being one?
Yes.
You speak of Nesgrim?
Yes.
His is definitely different than Yalumlo's.
Yes, I believe that the one that your poor friend has is tainted. Not wicked, but
Angry?
it feels as though it is bitter. Like a tea steeped far too long. That he has something that he needs to get out before he can be okay again. Your other friend bears an Akorum that is also quite different than normal. It is severed. As he said, he shares one with his brother. I do know of this Akorum. But his as well seems as though it is stained by some outside influence that has mired his spirit. Something wants the Akorum, Felix. Something wants their memories. They need to be protected. Thousands of years of stored knowledge in the hands of wicked, corrupt people is a harbinger of doom.
The cathedral, then?
Yes. It is why people do not speak of the Akorum. I was sent out as a very quiet missionary to learn of the world and to bring back that knowledge. I worked in the library to understand the Akorum and to understand the outside world. But I fell in love with your father and I couldn't go home. And now all the knowledge that I gained is yours. And should you say no to it, I would understand. It is a terrible burden to bear. And it would peacefully return back to the spirits, to the pool of knowledge safely, and share its wisdom with its brethren.
I probably won't say no, but it's a little scary, the thought of it.
I know. The things I have seen and heard through the voice have left me rattled on many nights. But you are a strong man. I believe in you.
Then I'll bear it.
Thank you. Your father, I have seen the pride in his eyes as he watched you work and serve in Yangema to share all that you knew with the children for their betterment. It also bettered you. All the times that you have spent with this very strange group. It has been the same as teaching those children. You've done very well.
don't think I've taught them anything.
Well, perhaps this time they are the teachers. Perhaps this time it is more of a shared experience. I think that you have taught a good number of things about what it means to be cautious and careful and to try to use your wits to keep yourself safe. Not all of them have listened. But they, like your father, are hardworking people devoted to understanding, to discovery, and to making sure that that knowledge is used for the right purpose.
This bath was meant to be relaxing.
I know. I am sorry that it came with a grave weight. But you are, well, a creature of water and can bear different weights.
About that. I'm just gonna point at myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then point at her image.
Mm-hmm. How the fuck am I green?
Is he even my real dad?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. She would kind of like laugh. Yes, of course. Michael's your father. There was something strange in the waters of the cube, right outside of the city. I do not believe your father understood it, but when I read from the books in the library, he is a man exclusively of fact and of understanding. Oh, God. There we go.
Any of my D20s?
Your father is a man of understanding and intense curiosity, probably associated the strange magical occurrences from the river, well, as being just that, magical. They weren't. It was spiritual. There are spirits that live inside of the waters of the cube.
Similar to the pool you spoke of?
No. Creatures of elemental origin.
Is there someone else in here? To myself?
Your mom would answer in your head. No, sweetheart, no.
So there's 2.5 of us.
No, I would mean that you, because I, as a spiritual person, am open to understanding and to experiencing things on a level outside of physical. I understood what they are. And that spirit became a part of me as well. Not something that projected on me physically, but I believe that spirit passed through to you. I believe that is why it took time to manifest.
I'm going to assume that I've never heard of that.
Correct.
Yeah, never. Okay, anything like that. That's
Mm-hmm.
strange. So there's more of them by the cube?
Yes. Many peaceful, natural spirits. Think of the ones that the children in the town, the small village, worshipped inside of the woods.
Worshipped? Worshipped? What do you mean worshipped?
I mean prayed to and...
I thought they just played with them.
Well, yes.
I didn't even think they were real.
No, they absolutely are.
That's weird. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little creepy.
I mean, there are spirits that...
Don't get me wrong, it's useful, and I'll just kind of flick my ears.
Yeah,
but...
right? Should also gestures like, hey, dude, you're clearly underwater right now. No, once you open yourself to spirits, I mean, it is the same kind of thing for what I believe affects your friend Forrest. Spirits of animals that have bonded with the spirits of humans.
And this is just an element.
Yes, like a intermingling of souls on a spiritual level that sometimes present physically. It's not common.
Right.
But I was a spiritual person and possessed an Akoram, and I think that that made me a suitable individual. I didn't present with any physical features, but you are my child.
Right. It's very odd that it's not really recorded anywhere.
There are only 67 Akoram in the world, Felix. And many of them do not leave the Revenant.
Oh, not just the Akoram, also these spirits.
Oh. That there's not much recorded history of their presence?
Right.
They, like most things in this world, have chosen to remain quiet and live in secrecy. There were great old creatures of elemental power that were not so neutral in the formation of the world, that bared ill against the creatures that then walked on land.
People, or?
Yes.
So then why are these spirits so passive?
Because they do not want to be seen as those. There can be candles, and there can be infernos. Infernos draw the attention of people and are extinguished. Candles are not.
There can be rivers and there can be tsunamis.
Yes. All in perspective and relative scale.
Just gotta take a deep breath.
Mm-hmm.
Just rub my temples a little bit.
As I said, it is a heavy gift to bear. There are things that, like I said, I have seen that have rattled me to my core. And they are not truths that are written in books. Some truths are terrifying, and the people chose instead to forget them, to live in peace.
I will still bear it. It's better to know than not.
I agree. I think that the people that made that decision a long time ago did not understand that people would still have those fears of the unknown. That sometimes an imagination is a very dangerous tool, and that sometimes the will of something can persist even after it has died. Fear for your friend, the girl. That it was a spirit that stained her soul. That it was a will attempting once more to become whole. A spirit looking for something to accept it.
It couldn't still be attached, could it?
Does not feel it.
It was a pretty thorough ritual.
Yes. I imagine whatever it was that had so desperately clung to her essence has thankfully finally been removed.
Why did your fear change? You were initially afraid of her, right?
Yes. People of the Revenant, we love nature. We love good spirits. We honor and revere them as things that are necessary to maintain the natural function and order of the world. to ensure that things do not descend into chaos or turmoil. That is a spirit that felt so foul, an abomination upon what a spirit should be of a natural order. It felt like a growth, like a vine or a plant that only wished to drain life instead of give it back, and sought to spread and only consume. That is not natural. Yes, of course, things want to grow and live and spread, but it was so wrought and hell-bent on destruction and contamination that it did not feel normal or natural.
Where do you think it came from? Was it created?
I do not know.
A mutation?
I do not know. I mean, it felt like a spirit of the world.
Twisted?
Something like that. Or something that also contains such vile bitterness that it grew malignant.
That sounds like a... It sounds like the end stage of maybe what Nesgrim has, if left unchecked,
Yes.
or it just seeks destruction.
Yes. It seeks to turn things into it, so that it may be all, or feed upon those that refuse. Transformation. It seemed like it was trying to transform your friend.
It wanted control first,
Yes.
and when she said no, or I guess refused it enough, it just decided to kill her.
Yes.
Or try to.
Yes. Like a parasite, Felix. Something that uses its host to spread, and if refused, instead kills it and moves on.
It's not very sustainable, but then again, didn't just get here.
Correct.
Oh boy.
Yes.
I take back what I said. This city sucks.
Yes, it does.
I'm assuming Ulm is much nicer.
Home was beautiful and peaceful. I loved that city. Those days that I would sneak in after my work, find your father and share a meal, a drink. We would talk about books and things we had learned, and your father loved theories. Speculative man. He always wanted to know more. Those are my fondest memories of all.
I think it was really hard for him to leave the city.
I know. I imagine it was a combination that everything reminded him too much of me, and that he was afraid that people would look at you and see you as different. See you as an unnatural spirit, instead of just the union of two natural ones.
Oh. Can you do me a favor?
Anything for you.
Can you try and stay as long as you can?
course. I do not want to go. But I can feel whatever it is that still tethers me here, growing thin.
You said the Ravelwood, right?
Yes.
Well, just know I'll go and get you.
I know.
But if possible, I'd prefer you not stay with me.
I know. There's a very tall redwood that pokes out of the height of the rest of the Ravelwood. Use your wings, and you will see it.
From here?
Should you fly high enough, the great tree can be seen from anywhere in this world. Its roots run deep, Felix.
Very deep.
Thousands of years of the collected memories of lifetimes over and over, shared back to it. So this way, when a leaf falls and a child of the woods is born, and a quorum is chosen if they are deserving. Beautiful leaves.
I did see it. Did you?
Yes,
Well,
your friend.
Yes.
When
When
he was
we,
born.
I'll just do this gesture underwater.
Yes.
Assuming you shared the vision.
Yes. It was strange to see myself, you know?
I guess.
Not many people get to look back upon the moment they died, and to see it from outside.
Very odd, I imagine.
But I couldn't take my eyes off you, so nothing else mattered. It won't be easy.
Doesn't sound like it.
No. Many have failed.
Failed? How so?
That which is written of you has been written of quorum holders before. Typically, an quorum holder is present to be able to bring the insight necessary to succeed in this task, to be able to bring forth the knowledge of those that fell.
Good thing we have 3.
Yes. Yes, it is. You have always read books. I believe there will be a day when you will be written in one, and someone will teach children the name Felix Gray.
I was kind of laugh underwater. Just like little bubbles. Ripple at her face, I guess.
Absolutely.
I'll kind of like shake my head a little bit. No need to flatter me. Just let me know before you go, okay?
I will. And I would tell you that the ripples would begin to fade away.
Yeah, I'll kind of close my eyes
Mm-hmm.
and begin to rest underwater.
Okay. Staying in the tub.
Oh, yeah. Why leave my whisper chamber?
Right?
It's
I
great.
can literally lay in here and hear everything anyway. I
Yeah,
don't have to
if
do
anything,
anything.
is there a bell?
Oh, yeah.
I would ring the bell. I
Mhm.
mean, the water heated.
Yeah, no, Wembley would absolutely come back in. Just quietly leave.
See a little go-kart?
Mhm.
A little RC?
And I need a little engine rev.
Am I outside in the snow? Then.
I mean, yeah, if you want to be.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's. He just wants to.
Mm-hmm.
But
Try
I
to
mean,
pray.
yeah, but we can do
you
that
want
out of sequence if you want.
Do you want him first?
No, you're right. I would rather resolve you first
Okay.
and then bring
Goodbye.
everyone back in. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
We'll
I was
hold
gonna
back
say
TJ when you
I could
transfer
just
time.
have come back and we can do it out of sequence. It's,
No, it's okay.
Okay. There's a lot of stuff in there, John.
Oh, dude, right?
My God.
Right?
What's all that capital letters, man?
Yeah.
God.
It's almost like I make it really
You
obvious.
do.
And try to be like, hey, here are the points that I'm trying to make.
I'm glad we at least kind of got like the general gist of some of it. Maybe like a little, like a taste.
You're getting there. You're definitely getting better at picking up on my hands, dude.
Yeah.
It's very impressive and it makes me very proud.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you would sit outside in the snow.
Yeah, I think is there like an area like behind Arthur's house that because it's up against the one wall, right?
It's not against the wall.
It's not against the wall. Okay.
He's a courtyard, houses in the center. There's like the little garden out front. She's got like little benches on the side. You don't have a bench in the back. You probably have like a little porch. If anything, fuck
Yeah,
it.
because he would want to sit in the actual snow to try to replicate like. Essentially, like the first time I found Malo was out in the snow, so I think he would kneel in the actual snow and not like on something.
Absolutely.
Maybe even in the garden in like the little because I pictured it as like a little ring thing. Maybe in the not obviously in with the flowers, but in the snow that's like in the rest of the flowers, the kind of like trees.
Sure. No, I understand. Yeah, I would say that you sit and do a quiet call for Malo. Yeah, I would say that after a few minutes come by, the raven obviously clearly flutters back towards you, having finally, once again, recognized that you are here within the city.
Now I'll just hold my hands out.
Absolutely.
Just look.
Comfortably land and tuck its little feet under its body and just...
Just look at her.
Mm-hmm.
You are more than you let on.
It would nod.
Are you her or are you a messenger?
It would nod.
Damn it. Fuck. God. I'm asking all the right questions. Shit. Okay.
Yes or no? Are you this or this? Yes.
So both. A piece of.
Are you a piece of her? A fragment.
It would nod.
Okay.
And then it would spread its wings and slowly flap.
Okay.
Like the fallen king?
It would shake its head no.
Okay.
Okay.
At that, it would lift from your hands and circle around you, around your head.
Okay. Like here or
Like a foot or so
okay,
above your
above
head.
me. Okay.
What are you trying to tell me? A circle?
It would
A
squat.
halo?
Like okay.
It would nod.
Okay.
And then land back in your
Okay,
hands.
Circles.
Just after I compliment.
I know. Sometimes I'm brain dead. It
It's
is what
fine.
it is.
Mhm.
Okay. You are an...
Angels are a thing like that. I wouldn't be weird for me to. Would that be weird for me to say that? Or celestial? Is that a better?
No, you would still know.
Okay.
You're an angelic man.
Yeah. Sure.
No, you're 100% a religious figure, a spiritual person. You would understand that an angel would be considered a celestial spirit.
Okay.
You are a celestial spirit, or I am?
Is it gonna nod yes again?
It's gonna nod yes.
God damn it. Oh.
Okay. Is there within me something like the fallen king that another Revia before me possessed?
Shake its head, no.
Okay. Something about my soul is celestial. Is it because of...
It would, at you
Okay.
saying that, it would shake its head no.
Okay. But I am.
Shake its head yes.
Am I a vessel for something? Someone?
It would shake its head yes.
Oh, dear God. Am I a vessel for a piece of her?
It would shake its head yes. I would tell you at that point it would open its beak.
Okay.
And a very small amount, like, you know, in Aladdin when the genie's lamp lightly smokes and it wreaths around, it would open its beak and ever so lightly a thin trail of grayish black ashy smoke would begin to trail its way around its, from like obviously its face and then transcending downwards, like a descending motion around its body and encompass your hands.
Nothing happens. It
just does that.
My hands and its whole torso.
Correct.
I have like spirit hands. Am I like Wembley? Do I have magic hands? That's kind of it is.
It would. God damn.
I'm not asking that.
No. I know. It would do that.
Yeah.
You would see smoke around your hands. And then it would look down at it. Look down at the smoke in your hands. And then it would squawk softly.
I mean,
yes!
Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Absolutely. And I will tell you that as you do this, you feel a sudden drifting euphoria that drives you to unconsciousness, where you like you give a good old huff you give a good old huff of the eternal shadow that exists inside this bird. And I will tell you that once again you find yourself in that incredibly dark space with fire cackling.
I have a follow-up question. Let me scroll back real quick. Hold on. And this big brain prophecy thing. Because I read something earlier, and I feel like this is probably relevant. Because you did type it. So let me just go back a second.
You've been chloroformed by your bird. Thank you, CMS.
It was the thing about, like, people being, like, ported to different places to be able to do things.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly what it said. It's in this fucking thing. I know it is. I literally read it earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where it is. You wrote something in there that I can't find it now.
That's okay.
That said that there was instances. I think you said it that something was connected because it was instances of people being ported to other places to do things.
Inside of the prophecy stuff?
I thought so.
Look at ye old visions, dreams, prophecies, and journals page. Let me look at the old prophecy.
I
I feel like it was something with the dwarves.
Oh, Discord.
I could have sworn it was like italicized too, so that's what I'm trying to find.
In the information recap or the big brain prophecy?
Maybe it was information recap. Oh yeah, it might be that. It was probably in there.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot I looked at both. No. It's fine. I'll find it later.
Yeah.
I don't want to hold it up. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to draw that connection, which I'm sure that it is. I just can't find where it was.
It's
right.
totally okay.
Yeah.
Incredibly dark, vacuous void space where you will find yourself standing on what looks like emptiness, and there is just a small, like 4-logged crossed
Yeah.
little bonfire and a crackling flame and smokes rising from it softly. You can see, obviously, a figure sitting on a log on the opposite side. The same black-robed figure. Just very tall, sitting, like, holding out a small little candle towards the bonfire to illuminate the wick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're back?
Yes.
What
Courtesy of Malo.
Sure. What is it that you need, Ethia?
I have a few questions. I understand you are busy.
Yes, of course.
Is this, and I'm just like looking around, gesturing at the space, is this above?
No. Within?
Okay.
You'd pull the candle back. Yeah. Just hold it in her palm in front of her.
What am I?
Mortal? Man?
Malo seemed to indicate that I have a piece of you, as does Malo.
She would take the candle and wave it around in a circle, and you would see that as she moves the flame flickers, and the smoke rising from the bonfire would ever so slightly twist. Anyone who has seen, heard, or worked in shadow comes back stained by it. Not stained in a bad way. Simply changed. And she would then take her hand over the robe, and you would see her very, large, not large, but like long, slender, pale fingers, and she would extinguish the wick, the flame on it. And as you watch, she pulls her fingers back, separates them, and you see ash, like a black stain on her fingers. This is you, Ethia. One who has touched shadow.
A remnant of light?
Yes.
Malo nodded when I asked, after flying overhead, if I am celestial. It was that same circle. Is that, do you think, what she meant?
I think she means that you, in the eyes of many, are an angel. One of death.
I am that, I suppose.
Many things.
Do you know what an Ikorum is?
Yes.
What are they?
Spirits that pass between people and ferry back memories to me so that I may keep them safe. So this way others who are born and deserve the opportunity to see the mistakes that people have made in past, to not repeat them, can be so gifted. They learn mistakes from many places, not just here.
From things past, other lives, other worlds.
Places past and worlds that have passed. Ikorum are spirits that are able to move, tethered by something beyond even where we are, and that is why I keep them safe. It is a collection invaluable.
You store them inside people so that way they are tethered,
Yes,
so they cannot be taken.
yes.
Have any been lost?
Some were, and some still are.
Okay, so I super understand what's happening now with Nivara then. Probably. At least to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. Okay. Oof.
Do you know of the fallen king?
Yes. A very wise, powerful man who united people when they needed it most. When all things in the beginning were ruled only by the chaotic instincts of people desperate to survive, there was a man, his good friend, who could do this.
John. John! Oh my god. Oh my god. Good lord.
Together, they forged an alliance and brought together a kingdom that could honor a god.
Why is he in pieces?
He scattered himself amidst water to be able to bless people beyond him when they needed his power most. His spirit, well, one can only spread oneself so thin. And those that have inherited it here have again inherited that same magnanimous, noble spirit, the drive to unite and to protect, no matter the cost. But with that comes a sense of exhaustion and fatigue and bitterness. Someone so noble, someone of such a great sacrifice, even they can grow tired.
One of my companions has a piece of the fallen king.
I do not believe your friend has only a piece. I believe simply that the fallen king is quite weak at the moment, having again had a run-in with a terrible creature.
You believe he has many pieces?
I believe your friend possesses the one united spirit of the fallen king. I believe what plagues your friend is the pact that was made when he was born. Not by him, but by those that made him. I believe their sacrifice was not enough. Some people are quite giving and believe that when they sign a contract, that they fully understand the terms. But I do not believe his parents were wise. I believe they were blinded and guided by their love for their son, and simply did whatever it was to keep him as safe as they could, as long as they can. But some devils are quite tricky. Some things are devilishly clever. Oh no.
That's not. Alright.
Okay. What happened to this companion of his, this friend?
The friend of the fallen king
Yes.
committed himself throughout time to protect as best as he could, to share and spread his knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
But very few pupils were deserving. 2 men and 1 woman.
Mm-hmm.
A woman who finds herself very far from home. Very far from, well, the only person she has ever truly loved.
I'm just gonna look into her eyes,
Mhm.
understanding that.
It is all right. As a mother, she understands sometime your child grows up. But, well, the distance between her and her girl is unfathomable. And I believe she fears that she is beyond saving. It is hard to believe that our child could grow up to become to have intentions that might be pure, but to do wicked things to be able to achieve it.
Can I help this child?
She is not here, Ethia, but you can help her mother. She's right inside that building.
The Arthur's home?
Arthur Heartwood. And upon her whispering that, you hear the voice of Arthur echo out. Oh, my dear. You called again, milady? We're gonna end there.
Oh, Jesus. Oh boy.
What do you mean, oh boy?
Oh boy.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Oh, I guess
Oh,
we're done,
boy.
aren't we?
We're
Oh,
done.
yeah, we're ending.
Yeah. Well, everyone, thank you very, very much for watching tonight. We appreciate it very much. Vulpix, thank you for the gifted sub, and Vapor with the resub, and for DJ's
DJ.
mug. Vulpix, thank you very, very much. We will be live next on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for the Lost Kings of Adoris, and then Sunday for the Veiled Forests of Orvigo at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We will see you guys on Friday. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, friends.